Dopee Conversations page and share it.
Okay.
So we are currently live, ladies and gentlemen. For everybody who is tuning in, I want to say uh, welcome back in some kind of form or fashion. Welcome back, but definitely this is definitely a great going to be a great conversation today for Dope Conversations. Why? Because my sister and I put it on social media. She tried to say it wasn't her fault, but I'm blaming her for forcing me to get back into this, and we'll get into getting back into this during the conversation. But it's really I'm really appreciative of Miss Keys for staying on top of me about keeping this podcast and these conversations going. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get into this conversation. So how are you doing? Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to everybody, but happy Mother's Day to my guest because she is a mother. So how are you
Yes.
doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm excited. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. It is a blessed day. Happy Sunday. So yes, I'm excited.
So let's get into this conversation. So um as anybody who saw the post, we're calling this the follow up because our last conversation or interview episode was in 2020,
hmm
and you were getting ready to transition out of the military. You were pushing your fitness brand, and you were doing you were getting ready to step into motivational speaking, transition coaching. You were networking with a lot of
Yeah.
influential organizations. So, first question: what happened? Where are you, and where are you going?
No, that's three in one. God dang. No. So basically what happened is I think our last conversation I was still kind of like on the cusp on if I should get out. Like I was still trying to figure it out. But then I went ahead and just proceeded to get out. I said, yeah, this is my call and it's time for me to get out. So I decided to retire. And then during that time, I was heavy into fitness, getting everything. But when you go through transition, it's mentally draining and physically draining. So you kind of like push back from everything. So to me, I kind of took a step back from the fitness world and started focusing more on mental health, even though mental health was something I was doing anyway. But I started promoting that even more. Um, and then so that's kind of what happened. And then so currently I'm just going out and talking to different, companies about sexual assault and about suicide prevention, which sexual assault I really didn't want to talk about. I was trying to like do a little bit here and there, but it seems like, that has became my calling. So, and then just, I mean, that's what I've been doing. I got a second job just to kind of, get used to, still work. Cause when you're in the military, you on the go 24/7. So,
True,
it
true.
was more of that, like I had to keep working. So right now I'm just in the figuring out stage, like where do I really want to go? But it's kind of like, God is putting things in my heart. So I'm trying to just sit back and walk into the purpose and just pray and see where it takes me. So that's basically it.
So we got Mr. Interview, the big time interview in San Antonio, AC Turner just checking in. What's up, AC? I just saw you comment. But so you make mention you were in one path, and then you actually decided to step into your calling, which is uh, sexual assault.
hmm
A lot of posts I see on your pages, on your different social media platforms, really tap into mental health and sexual assault.
hmm
Um, what made you um, take a pause or take a step back, and just embrace what your new movement is right now?
I think what happened was after seeing, the Vanessa Guillen story and how that unfolded, and then connecting with her sister on Instagram, Instagram, thank you, and all those things. I think just listening to a lot of people's story about MST, military sexual trauma, I
Mm-hmm.
think that's what made me pause and say, you know what, I do have a voice. I didn't have a voice at the time that it happened to me. And, why wouldn't I share, what happened? So to me, it was more like, you want to do fitness, everybody's in the fitness, you know what I'm saying? You kind of just kind of doing what everybody else is doing because you
Yep.
think that some of us blessed with nice bodies or whatever. So you just think you do, honestly. So you just doing it because it's the new trend, but the new trend is not what you're supposed to be doing.
Right.
So I sat back and was like, this is not Miss Keys. This is not who I am. Even though I love fitness, but this is not what I'm called to do. So I
Okay.
think seeing that, it was like, hey, you got a different impact. And mental health, we don't talk about that in the minority community. Definitely in the Black community, we definitely don't talk about mental health. It's starting to be a topic more, but it's something that we don't talk about. So why don't we just go ahead and bring it out? So I think that's what changed everything for me.
It's crazy you say that because, like, for me, and I say we're going to get into this conversation about, um, kind of the long distance of me dropping the episode. Uh, it's been actually a year since I dropped the episode, and um, why did I do that? Not because I didn't want to do this platform and keep this platform going. It's because of things like what you're saying. The universe has its way of telling us what we should be doing at this moment in time.
Correct. Hmm.
So last year, I decided to fully commit to get my master's. And when I say that took so much out of me because um, I did the accelerated program,
Hmm.
and nobody told me that the accelerated program was going to be that demanding.
Yeah.
And then actually embracing my current position in the military as a senior enlisted leader, um, that also became so demanding and so mentally draining because I was dealing with people all day long. So getting up at 6:30, 7 o'clock, being at work, 10, sometimes 12 hours, dealing with people issues and or operational issues, and then coming home to having to do papers or learn these different databases and systems that I had no clue existed. Like my brain was fried. I
Yeah.
didn't have the bandwidth. And so I graduated in March. Um, uh, thank you. So now I just said I want to take this period of decompression to kind of like recenter, refocus myself because yes, this platform, I want to use this platform to talk about things like this. Like people have dreams, people have visions, and this conversation we're having today is very important because nobody. I always say this when I do these episodes is we always focus on the success. We always focus on the end goal, but we never focus and we never stay on path. And we never show, we never expose the process of getting to the end goal.
Hmm.
Although we are successful, yes, but the success that people like this the success that people glamorize is the six plus figures millionaire. Uh, brand is like super famous, but
Yeah.
nobody talks about the hours of lost sleep. Nobody, nobody captures that in the moment. They always talk about, well, I lost sleep, and this, that, and the third, and I'm here. But
Hmm.
nobody's looking at the person in their face right now in that moment of I'm losing sleep right now. I'm dealing
Right.
with mental health issues right now. I'm
Right.
still processing the military sexual trauma right now. Nobody talks about that. They always talk about what, like we're in the end goal.
Yeah.
So in the fact that you started on you started on one path, and actually you still, to me, you still doing what you're planning, what you said you was going to always do, but it's you taking a different path to get to that goal.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like, tell me about your your mental state. Like, are you questioning your ability to succeed? Does all these things, like all those things coming out of you, like, hey, maybe I'm not supposed to be this person, or do I want to quit, or maybe this is not the thing I'm supposed to do, or are you even questioning what are you supposed to do right now?
Yeah, so I think there when I switched path, I think that's what it was, more of questioning who am I? Who am I? Is this the path I'm supposed to be on? But I think it was always a vision given to me, because I always tell people like everybody can copy you, everybody can try to do what you do, but they don't have the anointing of God over their life, or they don't have the calling over whatever you believe in, the universe or whatever. They can do whatever you want. You know, you can have multiple people doing fitness, you can have multiple people doing mental health, but they're not me.
Right.
So I think that was the thing I was figuring out, like you know, where am I supposed to go? I'm not doing fitness. I'm kind of just sitting here. I'm going through something because I'm getting out the military. And then it was like, no, Keisha, you just taking time for yourself to fully execute it and activate what you're supposed to do. And so that's what I've been doing. I've been sitting back like, okay, um, I know what I'm supposed to be doing. It's just taking that time to kind of like fully, you know, hone into it. Cause you know, military, you take care of everybody else around you.
Yes.
So now you're getting out and now you're like, who am I? That's how
Right.
it feels. You're like, who am I? So it's that sitting back, like, who truly are you? Like, what do you like to do? What's your favorite color? Like you're rediscovering stuff all over. And so it's a good feeling. But I tell everybody, like understand it's a process. Like don't rush to the finish line. Take your time, get through it, understand the process, because when you go through the process, that's the most successful person. They go through the process. They don't just rush.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So enjoy the process, take your time, you know, get to know yourself. But no, I'm not questioning what I'm supposed to do. I question how I'm supposed to do there, how am I supposed to get there. But I don't need to question that because the doors are gonna open, it's gonna open. Just do what I'm supposed to do and it's gonna happen. So that's how I honestly feel.
So I got, along with you, just with the few conversations we had and a couple other individuals, um, when when they got ready to when they got ready to transition, and then when the transition actually happened,
Hmm.
there was this period of like, oh my gosh,
Yes.
like I don't even know if I'm even supposed to be here right now.
Right.
Like I think some people thought, man, my life. Some people actually thought that their life ended when that last paycheck had came. You know what I mean?
That is true.
Um, like how did that? How was your trend? How was that period for you?
So I did the skill bridge, and I don't know if people know that that's a 6 month internship to get you out, you know, to civilian world outside the military. So I did that. To me, that helped, but still, in the back of my head, I was thinking like, do I still have more to give to the military? Like, and then when I actually got that for that last day saying, "Hey, you're officially retired. Like this is your last day," I think everything like hit me, and it was like, "What the hell did I just do?" And so I was in the bed for like like no, I'm not even joking. I was in the bed for 2 or 3 days. Even though I had a second job, you know, I do stuff here and there, but I was sitting in the bed for 2 or 3 days trying to figure out like what's next. Like I don't know. I'm used to this, so it was a starting all over for me that really bothered me. My eating habits changed. I gained a lot of weight because you know you eat your emotions.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm an emotional eater, so I was eating my emotions. So everything changed for me. But yes, it's something that we go through. The anxiety, the am I still going to be able to get a check, or you know those things. But at the end of the day, I looked at why not now? It's going to happen sooner or later, so why not do it now? So I just made sure I prepared myself within a year or two to understand, like, hey, if I don't get a job right away, then do I have some money left on the side? You know, thank God we have retirement and your other money that comes in, so that helps you. But still, you just like, you know, what is it? But it sucks. It did it, and it still does, and it takes some people like years to get over it. That's what you know. So yeah, it's hard. And then on top of that, when you work with people for 20 years, you've been doing the military or being a part of the military for 20 years. And then once you get out, nobody calls you, nobody checks on you. All those troops that you supported, all those people that you put your blood, sweat, and tears into, they don't contact you to check on you, see how you're doing. So in a way, you kind of feel thrown away.
Ooh, that hurt a little bit.
Yeah, it
and,
does.
and mainly because like I'm getting ready to go through that. I'm getting ready to go through that process too.
Hmm.
And um, in the position I'm in, my job is nothing but people.
Hmm.
And I've spent the last 9.5, 10 months pouring into the people that I work with. I don't say work they work for me, but work with because I learn from them too. And my biggest fear is um, getting them, helping them, and seeing them get to that next that point of ascension, and then it's like there's like this feeling of ungratefulness. But then I have to also acknowledge that when it comes to what we do, I have to acknowledge that, in the code and creed of the positions that we sit in or the rank we hold, that's our job. So I should try not to get emotionally attached to um, people not people not staying connected with me or connecting with me or feeling that feeling of gratefulness because of what I did for people along this journey.
Yeah. But you're
That's
gonna feel that. You
yeah,
honestly feel that. I mean, you can try to fight it because I did it too. I was like, let me get detached from everybody. So I kind of push people away. But at the end of the day, you still gonna feel that way because you're human and because you care and you want to see people succeed. So it's like when you push people to, push them up to a higher level and they just don't contact you to say, hey, I'm doing well or whatever, or, then you like, are we just work cool? Or did I really make an impact on your life? Or did you
right.
just use me? So all these things are going in your head.
Yep.
But I think what helped me is that one of the chief mentors that hit me up, he basically told me, he was like, once you leave, he was like, out of sight, out of mind, your social security card, your social security number, sorry. So that changed my mind. So I'm like, what? I'm just a social security number? He's like, yeah, once you're at that uniform, nobody's going to really reach out to you. And then if you die today or tomorrow, they're going to have your position advertised. So why are you putting your blood, sweat, and tears into something that's not going to do the same for you? So to me, that kind of helped me like, okay, that was kind of rough. That was hard, but that was him being, honest and being blunt about it. And that's what's happening. So I love the military, but it's just, they love you for your rank, but they don't really love the person who you are outside the uniform. So,
So transition out the military,
mm-hmm.
you processed and still kind of processing
Yeah.
that connection that I guess that well I can't the word is not coming to mind, but you just processing that connection of not being connected with the disconnection from the military per se.
Right. That camaraderie
Um,
that we had. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So you're processing that,
Mm-hmm.
but then I see I see you moving.
Mm-hmm.
So what keeps you going?
Um, Knowing that I have a vision and knowing that I have a purpose, that's what keeps me going. So it's like, yeah, you just close one chapter, keep on going. That's what I know, and because I want to help others, that keeps me going. And I think I was set, that I couldn't do that once I got out, but you can still help others. You can still reach out to other veterans. I hit you up and say, hey, you need some assistance on, you getting out, so let me help you.
Now,
So it's
oh,
just
first of all, you don't hit me up. You call me. Hey, you need to be doing this. You need to be
is
doing that. You be fussing at me. I'm just
yeah.
saying.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, like, I wish somebody would have told me the stuff I'm trying to tell everybody else.
Yeah.
Like, we have so many people out here, but so many veteran organizations. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's like when it's time for you to transition, again, you alone, you by yourself.
Yeah.
So it's just trying to figure it out. But I mean, yeah, it keeps me going, knowing that I have a purpose and I have that drive to keep on going out there. So.
But something you said originally, that keeps you going is vision, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, how difficult was it to establish a vision while you were still in the military, and then how difficult is it now, even though you had that vision, that you stay disciplined to that vision?
Man. So having it was hard in the military because you couldn't talk about certain things that goes on in the military. Certainly when it comes to sexual assault, you can't talk about those things. And it was like, again, you're so focused on helping everybody else. And my job as a recruiter, I don't just have 7 people under me. I have 200 DEP members plus that I have to get them ready for the military. So I was putting my blood, sweat, and tears in everybody. And I forgot about the vision I had previously of to work and do the sexual assault, whatever. So it stunted my growth, I felt. And then once I got out, it was like, okay, now I can actually relax and do it. But then when I'm able to relax, I'm kind of like, well, dang, I don't even know what I like anymore. So it's just like trying to figure out ways to do things that make sense for me at the where I'm at in my life. That's what it was. You know what I'm saying? So it's just trying to, again, you figuring out yourself. You're still doing what you want to do. You're still going after it, but it's still trying to understand doing it a different way. Staying on course, but doing things a different way. Your style changes, things about you change. So, yeah.
So what are you doing right now? Like um what's your current day to day right now?
So my current day to day, I'm a recruiter, and that's what I did for like past 10 years. But I'm a recruiter, and I go and I help veterans find jobs under the company that I'm with. I
Okay.
don't really want to bring that company up.
No.
Good company, but yeah. But so I go out and help veterans get jobs and help them with transitioning and making sure they have all the resources to get that. So I travel around to a lot of bases, which is something I wanted to do, and I asked for a job like that. I was like, travel and help veterans, and boom, happened. So manifestation is really 100% like it's true. Um, and so outside of that, Army called me. Army, I did something for them about sexual assault. Like everybody's been calling me to do interviews, so it's like that's starting to pop up now. So it's kind of like I'm doing a lot of things, but I'm doing the things I'm supposed to do. And honestly, I don't know if having a corporate job is gonna last for me forever because I know I have something bigger that I'm supposed to be doing. So yeah, that's basically what I'm doing. So I'll be in Tampa here in August, talking to University of Central Florida about sexual assault. I'll be on the board with them, so I'm excited about that. Did my thing with Army Mill. I mean, I have some podcasts coming up. I was on Texas Veterans Commission, so I have a lot of things coming up. But you'll see. I'm just, just doors are opening.
So it's funny you said it, and I'm not. We're gonna try to keep names and situations like specific situations out. But
Yeah.
but one thing I want to say is I'm proud of you because where I'm getting the direction I'm going to go with this conversation. It like I'm listening to what you're saying, and basically you're saying it's okay to not be connected with who you're familiar with, right?
Mhm.
Now, uh, has there been moments in times where you thought a group of people was the group of people that you were supposed to be pushing and walking in your vision and your purpose with because they were former military? And did it make you and were you rejected? Or if you were rejected, how did that make you feel?
So there's a lot of women, there's a lot of veterans groups. Texas. You'll see them on Instagram, you'll see them on LinkedIn. Everybody pops up, so many veteran groups. But at the end of the day, you have all these veteran groups, but none of them are, their actions don't align with their principles and their values.
Okay.
So to me, I'm all about action, right? So join this group, I thought it was going to be the best group. And it was women's, yeah, motivation, whatever. And they said, when you get out, connect with us. So got out, no phone call. Haven't responded back to my text, haven't responded back to my emails, and found out it was happening between multiple women were going through what I was going through.
Wow.
So in a way, I felt bad because I focused so much on this one group because I wanted to get connected with these women, and they kind of just like nowhere to be found. Um, Also, I thought they were good for my business to elevate because they had known like a lot of, even though I have worked with celebrities in the past, they knew like a lot of people. So I'm thinking,
Mm-hmm.
like, dang, if I get connected with them, good way to network, blah blah blah. But then it was, it's like, what's the point? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it was horrible. So I felt in my heart that just because that door closed, that didn't mean it was like bad for me. Like it didn't mean I was gonna elevate. It didn't mean I wasn't worth anything.
Right.
What it meant was those doors that I was looking to open from them. I don't need to look for them to open doors for me. I need to open doors for myself. You know what I mean? So I connected with people at a different level. And so I'm like, hey, whatever. What's for me is what's for me. So doors gonna be opening because it's my purpose.
So I had to ask that question that way because I need people to hear, like, really hear and connect with this. Is you just stated what's for you is what's for you, and and also you said that you never lost your identity in trying to establish it and trying to walk in these connections with
Mm-hmm.
these people who presented themselves to be a great source or a great resource
Mm-hmm.
for you to continue to accelerate.
Right.
And you said other things that you said is you trusted your own faith and your own ability to open doors for yourself versus relying on other individuals to open doors for you.
Correct.
And I think that's something that a lot of us forget, that when we walk out, it's like we walk out with all this experience, walk out with all these established relationships, um, and then we say, "Hey, I'm here." And little do we know is they're looking like, yeah, man. I know, we was having that Hollywood talk, but really, I was just saying that just so you can get out of my face type thing.
Yeah.
And I think that one thing that people in general, just not military people, have to realize is that you yourself will open the door through, again, your faith, trusting in you, trusting in your ability, developing yourself, establishing who you are,
Mm-hmm.
creating your own personal brand, all that stuff that brings people have people gravitate to you. That's you, period. You don't
Right.
have you shouldn't be looking at another human being to validate that. Like, you should put yourself in a position so the right people can see.
Mm-hmm.
You
That's
know,
true.
I'm not saying that we don't make it. Like, in my opinion, no one makes it to the top alone or by themselves. There's
Correct.
always somebody there to see them investing into themselves, and then somebody says, I want to decide to invest into that individual, um, because I can see the potential.
Mm-hmm.
So we just have to understand that we have to trust. We have to. The most difficult thing for us is we really have to trust who we say we're trying to be and what we're trying to do, and also we have to trust the process and the game plan that we put out, and we also have to be disciplined to our vision.
Right. And you have to also be careful. You said, you work together with people. Man, I did the working together with people. I thought that we was gonna collab, come up with something. I spent 2,500 on a brand consultant. Nothing happened with my career. Never took off. Like, she blocked me on social media, and I had a second page that opened up, followed her, and all my ideas that we wrote down together as my brand consultant, she stole my ideas and started doing mental health. Never did mental health before, never talked about it, but she was using my story as her story. So sometimes this is where discernment and like really understanding who people are, you have to sit back and watch people. Don't give everybody the sauce. Don't give everybody your stuff. Don't do that. So what I've learned was to be more disciplined and also sit back and watch people and take people for who they are, not the potential they have, who you are in front of me, who I see you are. And this even with dating, you know what I'm saying? You gotta understand who the person is, right? Sit back and watch them. And so it was just me of keep my vision silent. I'll throw some things here. I mean, I even had a guy who made over 400,000, which pisses me off to this day. Made 400,000 off of an idea I gave him on COVID, but didn't even hit me up and say, hey, Keisha, thank you for these ideas. Yeah, you text me, thank you. But at the end of the day, you never offered to, like, you know,
Bring
give
you in.
yeah, bring me in. But so to me, it was, every time he needs an idea, he'll text me, he'll call me. And this is a well-known trainer. Everybody knows him. Not gonna, but everybody knows this dude. Helped him build his platform to start doing fitness virtually. And it was, what I'm saying? So what you got to be careful. Be careful who you talk to, be careful who you share your vision with, your ideas with, and you'll know your gut feeling, trust your gut. You'll know who to work with and who not to work with.
It's funny, yeah, the stuff that you're saying, because um, I kind of felt that way with the whole DJing and the entertainment stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I actually kind of fell back on that too, mainly because I felt like I still feel and feel like um, there's a bigger purpose for me in that arena,
Mm-hmm.
and just doing the little stuff that I was doing was just like a hobby to me. But in turn, I had all these concepts and ideas, and it's individuals that I sat in the room with and was like, hey man, let's walk this down the street. And I sit back now and I see them doing it.
Mm-hmm.
um, I used to get mad, but then I said, you know what, that was me blessing that individual. Hopefully, that positive karma, not that bad karma, but that positive karma comes back around, and I get put in a position to where I'm successful doing exactly what I am very passionate about, which
Mm-hmm.
is using my personality, my skills, and my talent to help people um, see themselves for who they are and start living their purpose and aligning it with their life.
Correct. And that's what we're us people who want to see people grow. That's kind of that's what we're here for. I feel like we're here to help others. Even though I was pissed and stuff about what happened, at the end of the day, I knew that that was his calling. And
Mm-hmm.
so, people are coming to your life, to help you, to push you. And maybe I just pushed him into his calling and understanding who he was,
Right.
and whoever I come in contact with. So I don't get as defensive or irritated by it anymore, because I'm saying, hey, this was his purpose anyway. How he did it was how he did it. But at the end of the day, he's walking into what he's supposed to do. So, I have good mentors, good people I talk to that kind of help me realize things. Don't be upset if somebody, takes your ideas and use them, because that's maybe, they had the concept already. You just kind of push and advance them.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they don't have to give you kudos. They don't have to say thank you. I forgive those people. You don't have to tell me thank you, but I'm hoping that I, put something in your life. But also, I hope they understand that you have to help others as well. Like, don't be so selfish and focus on yourself that you step on others' backs to get where you want to go. So I'm hoping they understand that part, but not my life.
So what's one thing that you knew for sure you was going to be doing as soon as you took that uniform off that you're not doing right
Sleeping? No, I'm kidding. Um, One thing I know I was gonna
now?
do.
Don't say that because I'm ready to go. I'm ready to have some good days of sleep. I ain't ready
Yeah,
to go. I'm not ready to go to sleep permanently, but I'm ready to get some rest.
yes. I think that is true though. Sleeping. I mean, you you don't understand your body. Your body's different. Like, that's the thing. Your body's different, and so I haven't really done it, because once I got out, I went straight into work. Like, I didn't take no time off for myself. So I think, what I'm doing now, what I should be doing, what I'm not doing now, and should be doing, is relaxing. And I
Mm,
do take times, but not like I should.
okay.
So that's, yeah. But you'll see, your body's gonna talk to you different. Yeah, it's, you used to on that go go go. So when you're not on there, you feel a little bit more pain than you normally feel. Like, dang, I ain't moving around too much. Now my body's aching a little bit more than normal. So it's just a lot of things. But yeah, take that time off, and yeah, you'll rest, but you'll still gonna have, the anxiety is gonna increase. Everybody who goes, their anxiety increases, because you don't. It's the unknown. You know what I mean? It's the, I don't know where my, if I may be getting a check, but it's the stability of being in the military that freaks us out. You know what I mean? So it's different, but probably resting, because I'm doing everything I want to do, just not as high level that I want to. But it's gonna happen.
So where did you envision yourself? 6 months after you've officially retired, like what was your vision? What's the difference between how you saw yourself and where you are now?
I'm not where I see myself. I'm not there yet. But what I envision myself doing is speaking and kind of do what I'm doing right now, but on a
Mm,
different platform, where I'm not working for no company. It's just me going out, talking to people, getting in the community, and actually working. Because I'm about action. I feel like my actions are kind of slacking. And so if I'm saying, hey, let's get in the community, I need to really, get in the community and start working harder. So I see myself kind of stepping away from corporate world and just focusing on building my brand and building other people up, and probably speaking all over the world. So I hope I continue doing that.
so what's like a daily routine that you would love to share as a mentor nugget? What's the daily routine that you do to ensure that you are staying on track with your vision?
TMI, see. Um, So the biggest thing for me is I have to have a calendar. I am so unorganized right now, and I never thought I was, certainly as a recruiter, but I have to get a calendar. So my routine is taking it, like, for the first hour I wake up, I do not touch my phone. Um, and I have to do that more, but I stay away from the phone, because it gives me time to pray and, like, really, like, okay, today's gonna be good. I am a great person. Manifest affirmations to myself. Like,
Right, right.
I have to hype myself up, because I don't gotta anybody really hyping me on a daily basis. So waking up, hyping myself up, and then I look on my calendars for, okay, this is what I have planned for the week, and just kind of look and just building a calendar for myself. And
Mm,
those moments where, if I don't finish something, for that day, I just move it over, instead of getting frustrated saying, dang, I didn't do this. I say, okay, well, I have tomorrow to take care of this. So I just make sure I prioritize my life.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I need to take a step back, when I need to breathe, I honestly take a step back. I turn my phone off and I just do something I love. Maybe, getting a pedicure or whatever, but, I take time for myself. And then at nighttime, I make sure I'm off at a decent time. I wind down. I have my wind down time. So nobody calls me after 9 o'clock. I go to sleep. I focus on myself, but yeah. So it's kind of that. Make a schedule for yourself. And then whatever I need to do, I pick one day just to focus on what I need to do for my business. And then that's just you know, yeah.
So from a mental health and a mental health, social health, and just an overall wellness perspective,
Mm-hmm.
um, that some of the things like you saying a lot of great things, but some of the things I'm keying in on is self awareness and self development.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you said you have to be your biggest cheerleader because nobody else is cheering for you.
Mm-hmm.
What is that like?
Ooh, it's frustrating. I'm saying it's 100. It's like frustrating. But at the end of the day, I'm with myself 24/7. I mean, my sons may be around, but I'm by myself all the time. I'm with myself. I speak to myself every day. Like you're with you 24/7, basically.
Right.
So in a way, it feels lonely. Like, man, why ain't nobody promoting my stuff? Because me, sometimes I go and I be promoting people's stuff. Do I get that back? Probably not. But at the end of the day, it's just like I don't care about me getting anything back as long as I, am pouring into people. But as long as I'm taking myself, looking at myself and saying, you know what, Keidra, they may not talk to you, they may not respond to you, but just do what you can, the best you can do, and you're amazing. So I just keep on hyping myself up. But it can be lonely, but it is what it is. Like it don't matter at the end of the day.
And I like this. I like this point that you're bringing up, or the part that we're discussing, because again, it goes back to this. A lot of us get in situations where we say, "Wow, like nobody's doing nothing for me. Nobody's
Mm-hmm.
here. Nobody's standing up. Like, where are my people? Or where is this at?" And it's like we get so caught up into relying on other external energy that
Mm-hmm.
we forget that the energy that got people to notice us in the first place came from us.
Correct.
So that's like very important, and kudos to you for acknowledging that you have to be your own cheerleader.
Mm-hmm.
We all have to be our own cheerleader, because eventually what's going to happen, or could potentially happen, is the cheerleaders become jealous or envious of the success, and they stop cheering, and then you're like, dang, like what happened? Why aren't these people still cheering for me? um, they used to, but now they don't cheer for you because their priorities or their emotions change towards whatever it is that you were doing. So you have
Yeah.
to stay self-aware. You have to stay focused on self-development and self-inspiration,
Mm-hmm.
because if you don't, people, you're gonna quit when people quit.
Yeah.
At the end of the
It,
day,
yeah. And even if they ain't cheering you, they watching you though. That's the thing. People watching everything you do. They may not make their presence known, but they watching you. So I mean, I take it as like, okay, I know you watching me. I see, may like my stuff here and there. But what makes me feel good is knowing the fact um that I'm still gonna push myself. I don't need anybody's validation. I don't need anybody telling me, "Hey, girl, you're doing a good job." I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm supposed to do. So whether you cheer me on, whatever, the right people gonna come in my life.
excuse
Bless
me.
you. Yeah, you've been struggling. Bless you. You've been struggling since we've been on here.
Oh man.
Yeah. And so what's crazy though is I was really upset, and so I was trying to figure out like why have people stopped texting me, responding back to me, and everything. And like I had a vision, like I prayed, I was like, man, what's going on? And it was like, Keidra, you don't even know the conversations that's being had behind your back. Let them go. And I'm like, okay, like seriously, like telling me straight up, don't reach out to them. Let them go. The conversations behind your back are not going to do anything for you. So a lot of doors close and a lot of opportunities close with other people because they're not right for you. They're not meant to go on your journey with you. They're not meant to elevate you. So at the end of the day, why am I going to cheer you or wait, be focused on somebody else to cheer on me when they could be doing something behind my back to stop my growth.
Yeah.
So yeah, you just got to be careful. But yeah, those closed doors are blessings, man. Honestly.
I said the same thing, man. It was some it was some people you and I were mutually connected with, and we both had some of the same experiences. Um, and I was trying to get him, trying to get him on the podcast to talk to him about some things, and they wouldn't respond, or
Mm-hmm.
they would respond, and then when it came time to actually no kidding going forth and do episodes, they would disappear. And
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wow, like, okay. So that's that rejection part that I started. That's like, man, is this gonna be normal on the outside? You know,
Mm-hmm.
people that you know for you that you was in the digging in the trenches with in the uniform. You come on the outside and see them same people, and y'all trying to grind together, and they're like, the uniform made me do it, you know.
Yep. Yep.
Or
It is.
you a civilian now, like you said, you just a social security number, so everybody trying to eat at this point.
Correct. That's what it is. That's that's how it is. It's just like it's a the conversation they have with you while they was in uniform, whatever. It's like, man, I'm a people's person. I'm all about the people. I'm taking care of everybody. And then when it's time for them to actually execute what they said, it's different.
Right.
So you're gonna start seeing that a lot of people's actions and their vision and their values they say they have don't align. You're gonna see that a lot more. So I would say, you know what? That person may not want to be in your podcast because they feel like they better. Sometimes they feel like they better than you,
Right.
but they don't understand. To help others, you got to go back and pull those people up. He could have, So it is what it is. You just man, but yeah, a lot of people actions and don't align. So you
One
just got.
one of the, I think one of the things that I fear
Mm-hmm.
is because I want to continue to do what I'm doing, but I want to do it on a like a more expanded way. I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
have to use. I don't want to be doing it using the military or guidelines, but I feel like I'm going to be exhausted from people before I can even get to the point to where I can do what I really want to do.
So my exhausted from people in the military is also for people in general.
People in general. So
Mm-hmm.
like you were a superintendent, you're a flight chief,
Mm-hmm.
and your job of walking out of the military, all you did was deal with people issues, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to is but going into like the field that I'm trying to I want to go into,
Mm-hmm.
that's literally like what I'll be doing. But of course, I'll be getting paid way more, of course.
Yes.
Uh, um, but I fear that I may be exhausted from doing those things for people because of how much energy I'm putting into people in the uniform.
Correct.
So like let's just say a command chief, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or a group chief. It don't matter, or a chief. Once you become that E9 of that chief, all you do is advise and develop and mold people.
Mm-hmm.
But you are good at it and you're passionate about it. But then when you step out of it on from this side, say, I want to continue to do that, and I want to make a larger impact on a community of people,
Mm-hmm.
not just military. I want to make a larger impact on a community of people.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, dang, but like, shoot, like I start thinking about, man. I remember when I was dealing with such and such on something similar to this, and I had to like, I lost sleep trying to take care of this person. Um, I fear that I will be like tapped out on people before I can even start doing what I really feel like I want to do.
And you may feel that way, but if it's something that so to me, military is you're assigned that position, right?
Yeah,
So it's not like you can't say no. When you get out, you can say no
right.
and understand you're doing something that you want to do and it's your calling to do instead of
Mm,
chosen to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's two different things. So being put in position and being called to go out there and do something that you enjoy is two different things. So your threshold for people is gonna be different. You know what I'm saying? So don't take it as like, oh man, I'm gonna get out, I may be burnt out. Hey, the key word when you get out is to say the word no. You have all the time in the world to say, hey, this ain't for me, or I need to take a break or whatever. So
That's
take that
funny.
time. Yeah. No is a nice word. I didn't know how to use it. I didn't know how to use it till I got out that uniform. I was like, no, you gonna do this? No. I mean,
That
they
is.
can't fire you. You're doing your job, but sometimes it was the answer.
That's funny you say that because my boy, man, like business partner, boss, however you want to call it, like
Mm-hmm.
he fussy, he yells at me all the time because like, dude, you don't know. I say no. It's like, and I look at it like, damn, man, because I look at I look at the glass on the other side and look at the opportunities. He said, but yeah, every opportunity ain't an opportunity.
Correct. Mm-hmm. So go and say no. You may get burnt out, but just say no. And we got to stop pleasing people. And I think for us, I think when you are compassionate and you are about the people in uniform, because a lot of people are in those positions and don't really care about other people. But I know with me and you, we have good hearts and we want to see people excel and go to the
Mm-hmm.
next level. But at the end of the day, sometimes we got to be like, hey, I get it. I've done whatever I can do. But now, look, it's not, I'm helping you as much as I can, but I can't please everybody. I gotta please me first before I please everybody else. Because now they take it from an empty cup. You're not pouring into yourself. So just
Ooh.
just focus on yourself, man. Don't You gotta learn to say no.
It's funny how we we talked about this conversation being like the follow up, like where you at in life and
Mm-hmm.
everything, and
Mm-hmm.
it's now it's done turned to um, how you have been surviving, how you have been surviving, but this information should be and could be and utilized from anybody who hears this episode, whether they wear a uniform or not. Like at the end of the day, it starts with you and ends with you,
Yeah.
and how you take care of yourself is how other people are going to respect, view, or um, engage with you at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
You
So
know.
have you realized, like, okay, when you see people and they have like a toxic relationship, or you can see how your energy is, you're basically inviting that into you. So if you're a person who is down all the time, or you're insecure, or you're going through financial issues, sometimes, say if you're single, sometimes you find somebody else who's going through the same thing as you, right? So I feel like your connection, how you feel your cup and how you lift yourself, you're going to find those people that are going to gravitate to you because they see the confidence that you have. So I always tell people, like, females, don't date nobody, or guys, don't date anybody when you know they're struggling. Don't date off potential. You know what I'm saying? We're going back to that. Don't date off of that. Like, you focus on what the person is and what's going on now at that moment. So yeah, you over there struggling. You should have took some Claritin and some whatever before.
Hey, listen, you have no idea what I've been taking. What's that? Tea tree oil,
Mm-hmm.
uh, spearmint. I done soaked in the tub to get some steam going
Mm-hmm.
on. I done took some Zyrtec. I done took Claritin.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I done put wet hot towel over my face to kind of like uh, the dot is down. It is. I don't know. Today Arizona is tripping today.
Yeah, that's why I had to leave out of there. I had to get orders out of there ASAP because I was sick all the time, and
Yeah,
I hated I
Arizona is
hated it.
tripping today.
Yeah.
Um, so outside of my sneezing, because it caused me to lose my train of thought. Uh, like and what you had said some stuff that kind of like that triggered some things that made a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Um, dang, what was I getting ready to say? It's almost like I want to rewind the conversation and
Yeah.
then and jump back into it. But no, big picture. You you almost have to, if you're not doing it in anybody, I'm guilty of this too, is you need to set a true holistic clock on how you manage yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and of course give yourself wiggle room to kind of fall off the wagon and get back on, but you really do need to give to to make it a habit to continue to breathe life back into you.
Correct.
What does that look like for you?
I say boundaries. I have boundaries. And I never knew what that was until I got that uniform. But I have set boundaries, right? So my time is, maybe this time I don't talk to people. If somebody triggers me or it makes me feel uncomfortable, I just kind of push that away. It's just me understanding what fills my cup. Not filling my cup, conversations, relationships are not doing that. I have to push you away. So that's what helps me out. I got to. You got to learn how to focus on yourself. And so that's what it looks like, honestly. Keeping those boundaries up. Know when to say no, know when to, entertain people, know when to chill by yourself. Like you have to truly understand yourself. And this is a time once you get out, you're gonna learn that. What I like, what I don't like is different. So
Hey, that by yourself part,
mhm.
that is so liberating right now.
Mhm.
It is.
Yep.
Because if I could put a gigantic mirror around my house right now and
Mhm.
and call it the Walk of Shame, Walk of Fame, whatever I want to call it,
Mhm.
that's the moment of reflection.
Mhm.
And that's asking yourself, how did you get here? Why did you do the things that you did? And how are you gonna do better?
Right.
And I think people should do that, not every day, maybe once a week, because if you do it every day, you probably gonna get depressed and think that you're not worthy. But
Mhm.
you have to be confident enough to ask yourself those questions and also hold yourself accountable.
Correct.
Um, a lot, it's overkill, but a lot of people, I read, I don't read books, I listen to books. I do
Mhm.
read though,
Yeah.
but this book called Extreme Ownership, I know it's, if you haven't heard of it or read it, it's a really dope book because um, the principles that they use are military because the guy that wrote it was a former um, Navy SEAL, um, but they they focus more on if there's a failure in an organization or event, they
Mhm.
focus more on the victim of the event to get to help them understand how they played a part so they can build a better defense system or set better boundaries moving,
Mhm.
moving forward so that it doesn't repeat itself.
Right.
Because most of the time when you're dealing with a lot of organizations, like, well, they did this, they did this, they did this, they did this, but nobody really focused on the part that they played. Maybe you was
Mhm.
too passive, or maybe you was afraid to say no, or
Mhm.
maybe you were worried about the ramifications of not doing things in a certain way, so you decided to allow certain things to happen, and it still puts you in a bad situation.
Correct.
Um, so, like, we have to set like this whole clock or schedule, like you said, a calendar,
Mhm.
where where it triggers us to say, hey, did you talk to yourself today?
Mhm.
Did you meet goals? What goals have you met today?
Mhm.
If you did meet these goals, why didn't you meet these goals?
Mhm.
And you had these conversations and truly set those goals, set individual goals per week. Like,
Yeah.
I've been working on my EPR for the past month, and for you guys that don't know, that's like my annual appraisal. So I'm drafting it so I can give it to my boss, and my boss can add her flair to it. Um, but I've been working on my EPR for the past month,
Mhm.
and there have been times where I know I should have been working on it, but I put it off to the side because I just didn't want to look at my computer for that day.
Mhm.
But I got to have it done within 2 weeks, and it should have been done because I got mentors I need to send it to so they can look at it and say, "Hey, you missing this or this, or tweak this here," and I'm not giving them the diligence or the time to put some really good thought into
Mhm.
uh, what I'm trying to convey.
Yeah.
Um, so I got to do me personally. I have to do better with uh, the self reflection, self aware, holding myself accountable
Mhm.
to put myself in a better position in life.
Because what do? We always put everything else everybody wants us to do first.
Right.
We do everybody EPRs, we get everybody's stuff together, but we are last to do our own stuff. And so that's one thing you have to realize. Like, you are so focused on getting everybody to the place they need to be, you are, forgetting about yourself. So at the end of the day, like, focus on, sometimes you have to tell them people no, focus on yourself. You get burnt out working with people all the time. But this is honestly your time to be like, hey, you. We forget we let the uniform wear us instead of us wearing the uniform, right? We do that
Yeah.
all the time. But you're gonna have to take this time to like sit back and hey, I gotta be me. And I think getting out to me was the best time where I could be like, okay, cool. I'm in my 30s, man. Let me go ahead and focus on myself first. Like I can't do this no more. I don't even know who I am. So I mean, just really focus on yourself.
Okay, that's what it was. I think 2 years ago, I started
Mm-hmm.
asking myself that question, like, man, like, who am I?
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why is because when I go to work, I'm this person. When I get out of work, I'm this person. And
Mm-hmm.
after a while, I started getting confused. I'm like, yo, who are you? Like,
Mm-hmm.
what is like I have a name, but what does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
And mainly because some of us get to a point with this military life, we're in it we're in it as to survive, so we can get to that permanent check.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, well, just let me go ahead and do what I got to do to get to this next level. But then as
Mm-hmm.
soon as you take the uniform off, it's like, oh, this the real me.
Correct.
So
Yep.
you're almost living a double. Most of us, and not all of us, have been living double lives the whole time we've been wearing. Well, I can say the whole time because when we first get in, we super, 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 super naive. And we like, I'm Air Force all the time, and blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
But at a certain point in time, when you start, recognizing and becoming more aware of self, you kind of start living a double life. And then when you get out, when you transition, you start looking at like, okay, uh, I don't have this other life over here no more. And I just have this, and how can I manage it?
Right. Right. And I mean that's the key though. You have to. I know as a mom, I was a single mom and I would go home and I would always be sergeant. You know what I'm saying? I was still sergeant, even though I was mommy. I would be like, hey, go do this, go clean that up. Like I would talk to my troops. And I was like, dang, I'm actually being a sergeant at home instead of being a compassionate mother like I should.
Right.
So there are times I have to check myself like, yo, but I start having fun at work, which is weird to say this as a military person when I start bringing Key to work because now people saw that I was human. People saw that, dang, she cool to be around. Dang, she really helps. And this is the reason why she yelled at us. She don't just yell at us to say, hey, do it because I'm higher ranking than you or I'm a supervisor over you. Do it because I care and this is my reason why.
Right.
So I had to sit back and understand, like, hey, bring my empathy and stuff to work. And I think when I started bringing my empathy to work and bringing my true self to work, things start working better for me and my team start working together. So, and this is anything in life, any job that you do, any leadership position you have, like be you 24/7. But you have to understand there are, you know, things you can't cross, you know what I'm saying? But just understand, just you got to be yourself 24/7. But learning yourself is beautiful. And this is anything that you do, transitioning military, transitioning to different jobs. Like, I know we talk about military a lot, but man, it's life is beautiful. You just gotta just enjoy it. And yeah,
That's right. Enjoy it.
yeah, enjoy it.
it's
Yeah.
it's easy. It's easy said than done, but that's probably something that we should all tell ourselves every day. Life is beautiful and enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
And start with, okay, well, how do I enjoy life?
Yeah.
Okay, boom, 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 boom. Come up with an action plan for that. Excuse me.
Bless you.
God dang.
You should have did this interview in the house.
Yeah. So the reason why I didn't do it in the house is because that's where, like, I figured coming outside and getting some fresh air would have helped. It was worse in the house.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's it. You got dusty hair.
Hey, trust me. I got to start. I wiping the face ceiling fans down, the window seals. That's all I was doing this morning.
This is
Uh,
Arizona.
yeah.
That's just how it is. That is just how it is. But
So 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 we are at our hour mark, and
mm-hmm.
I like to respect time. And I know you got to go hang out with your mom. But
Yeah.
what I do want to do is allow you some parting words, seeing the fact that we talked about, hey, you got out, you had a goal, you had a brand, you had a vision, and that kind of changed a little bit. Some of the elements, not so much the vision, but some of the elements of that brand changed a little bit. Like, what do you say? as a parting gift to the listeners, what
Yeah.
what would you say to anybody right now who is in that moment of that pivotal moment of I started here, I'm I'm not where I want to be, and I'm doing something different. What kind of motivational words or context would you provide to them?
So anybody who's going through trying to figure out their purpose or their why, just understand like you're not gonna know everything right away. Um, and it's okay to get off course. There are times you're going to get off course, and just make sure you get back on it. And there are times that you keep the same vision, but you just have different ways to get there.
Right.
So focus on, hey, I'm going through this, I'm understanding the process, and things may not be how I want them to be, but when you have faith and you understand that you have purpose, things will start aligning for you. So just take your time, give yourself grace when things don't work out the way you want them to. It's okay, it's fine, but understand there is process, and just enjoy it, and enjoy the memories, the moments that you have. To me, the most successful people go through things, right? Everybody goes through something, but the most successful people, I think they live, they understand, they learn from, their lessons and stuff. So just don't take it as defeat. Take it as, I'm walking closer to what I'm supposed to do. You're just walking closer. Maybe a different route, but you're still going to the main goal. So that's how I feel at the end of the day.
I love it. I love it. Yeah.
Yay!
Y'all y'all heard it first. Y'all heard it more. Y'all heard it many times, but you heard it in this version, in this way on this platform. Miss Keys, she's doing
Yeah.
her thing. She's a world traveler, still traveling. She's recruiting people, advising people to enjoy life
Right.
for lack of better words. So how can
Yeah.
if anybody wants to follow you on social media or follow your platform or support your vision, how can they do that?
So you can find me on Instagram under underscore Miss Keys, MSKEYS. I have a website, keyfit.life. You can go on there. I do a lot of bookings. Just follow me on Instagram and stuff. Now I know I be posting some pictures out there, because it's still having fun, even though I like, to do my business. But yeah, just follow me if you want to DM me for questions. Hey, I'm here. So
DM respectfully, ladies and gentlemen,
please,
respectfully.
God is good, but come on, doing too much.
Well, I want to thank you for tuning in, everyone, and I want to thank you for um, reaching out to me and asking me to get my stuff together.
Yeah.
Um, and this has definitely been a great episode, and I'm gonna be looking forward to getting this schedule and this routine back on par, so we can really have some more dope conversations. So for some administrative notes, you can follow this podcast on all podcast platforms: Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Um, the rest of them are Google, the most of the major podcast platforms. You can follow this podcast on. If you feel the need that there's a dope conversation to be held, you can reach out to me on Instagram, Dope Conversations with two E's, or you can reach me on email, dopeconversations@gmail.com, and let's talk about it.
Yeah.
So, without further ado, everybody, happy Mother's Day. Ms. Keys, happy Mother's Day. Tell your mama happy Mother's Day and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Peace out.